Good morning. Today, I would like to talk about water conservation. The goal of my speech is to persuade you to conserve water. I will give you reasons why you should conserve water. When I was a kid, we had water fights all summer long. Some days we would leave the hose on just in case we wanted to take a drink. Washing the car, we'd let the hose run. Brushing our teeth, we let the water run. We just let the water run all day sometimes for no reason. It didn't matter where the water came from, it just seemed endless. In my late teens, I became aware that fresh water was not limitless. I started to hear on the news that certain cities or states were imposing restrictions. In my 20s, the local government started imposing water restrictions. You couldn't mow your lawns. You couldn't water your lawns. You could mow your lawns. You couldn't water your lawns. You couldn't wash your cars. Violators could be punished with fines or jail time. Today I will explain to you why you should conserve water. There are three things that all living things need to survive: air, water, and food. A human can't live longer than 3 minutes without air. They can't live longer than 3 days without water, and they can't live longer than 2 to 8 weeks without food, depending on the conditions. There are a lot of things you can use as food, but nothing can replace air and water. That should be enough to convince you right there to conserve water. We cannot live without it. But if that's not enough, then here's another reason you should conserve water. There's always the same amount of water on the planet. It never changes. But the amount of potable water is declining. Potable water is defined as water which can safely be digested by humans. And I know it's easy to think that we have all these lakes, rivers, and streams, and the ocean, but the ocean is salt water. And we would have to spend a lot of money to build desalination plants in order to change that into fresh water, or usable water, potable water for human consumption. This takes a lot of time, effort, and energy, and it also puts a strain on the oceans, more strain than we already are. Let's break that down a little bit. Potable water is used for many things. Its primary use is to sustain life. We drink it. Secondary uses are we use it to water plants that provide us with food. We wash our bodies with it. We wash our dishes, our hands. These things are a luxury. I don't think anyone would want to give any of them up. There's nothing like being clean. So in conclusion, I'd like to say, please conserve water. 1, we can't live without it. We cannot survive. The planet will not survive. 2, conserve for your children's future, your grandchildren's future, just so that there'll be a planet one day that can still sustain life. Thank you.